Today we are going to be making my existing platform Meeown, which is very successful and has many users. So you can basically use it to create product ads. You can use it to create your own digital twin. It's got lip sync, an AI generative platform for influencers and brands. You can create content on it. You can make your digital twin. There's so many things you can do on the website. Now, what I'm going to be doing today is building this for agents, because when you're building now, you should not be building for humans. That's gone. That's a thing of the past. So now you have to be building for agents like Claude, Codex, any agent that comes to you. You have to think that an agent, i.e. an LLM model, an AI model, will now be commanding your website or whatever you're doing or services. It will no longer be done by humans. So today I'm going to attempt to do that myself, because I've been working on Meeown for about 1 year now, and we have all the fundamentals in place. So it should be quite straightforward with implementing the next stage so agents can use it, and you can use it as a skill set when you're talking to your agent. So basically creating an MCP. I've not done this before, so you can follow me along the way and we will figure it out together. I will be using Claude. However, I do use Codex too, because they're both very similar. They've got their goods and their bads, and I'm actually torn between both of them right now. For someone who uses both every day, it's very difficult. I've always in the past used Claude for back-end stuff, and Gemini and ChatGPT has always been my front-end styling. But now with ChatGPT 5.5, things have changed a lot, and the Codex app is amazing. So I will be switching between both, and we will see how I get on. Right, so hi Claude, I want you to do some extensive research on Higgsfield MCP and how it allows agents to use it. We need to do something similar so agents can our Meeown from Claude, Codex or wherever. We have obviously think in place, do a full audit, understand everything and tell me a plan. Also research online, and remember, always start in plan mode. Dun, dun, dun. So I'm actually using the terminal here. So I have cursor and I'm not actually using cursor. So this is sort of, I feel like this is a bit of an old school thing now. So if you originally started vibe coding, you would have been using cursor. And as time went on, Claude started to use their own service, desktop app. Then I started using the terminal, because the output was much better coming from a terminal than it was coming from cursor. Because when you're using an API connection from cursor use an API connection to get to Claude. So that means there's a middleman. Now, when you use the terminal for Claude, it goes straight directly to Claude. So the output's better. And so since then, I've always used the terminal, and I can, here on the right hand side is like different tabs of my project, so I can switch in between tasks. Now you can do this on the Claude Code app, which is here. However, I feel like it's not as good. So I mean, it must be just a feelings thing or what I'm used to. And another thing is I can actually see my files. So if you are coding, you definitely need to see your files on the left-hand side. So as you can see, all of this is a lot. And I tend to go through the code base, read all this. And what Claude have done is try and make it as hands-off as possible, so you don't see all of that. I guess it's each to their own really, but that is how I've been working and that is how I will probably continue to work. I even use the actual terminal. So this is on every computer. And this thing here, this terminal, it's this square thing which is in cursor. So it's very simple to understand. So, right, let's see. The reason I've said to search Higgsfield is because they've done a similar thing, and that's the gist I can tell my agent to analyze so we can have a path and a clear direction. Okay, so browser-based sign in to Meeown.com on first MCP call reuses existing. More work needs endpoints dynamic client. Yep. Right. And so on Meeown, let me just give you an example. So we have studio mode. Now, studio mode is amazing. You can really get creative with it. You can do TikTok UGC, and the flow is just, you can go unlimited and you can really get creative with it. So let me show you some examples. Like here, I've done some AI influencers and photo shoots, and as you can see, it just goes on and on and on. Let's get back to this. Right, always read the plan. That's the most important thing. Don't just click enter. It's a remote MCP on it. Yeah, let's Claude Code. Meeown has the underlying surface area to the same and more 48 edge functions. Yep, there is no MCP code in the repo. This is Greenfield. Goal, ship a remote sign-in exposing a lean set of generation tools plus Meeown Studio. It's used existing Meeown. Okay, decisions locked in. Transport remote HT install for users, online install, yeah. Auth dynamic client registration, reuses existing auth session, first call opens the browser, user signs in on Meeown.com, MCP client gets an access token, no API keys. Hosting single, yeah. Tool services, right, fine. Right, so Claude Code cursor, Meeown.com, no, Meeown.ai. So see, that's why you read it, because it's actually made a mistake. It's Meeown.ai. Credit Supabase function generate status read. Yep, fine. Job assistance is free. Generation already live. MCP. Yep, perfect. Meeown only differential. Yep. Okay, seems like there's a lot involved. So my credit checks actually happen in the edge function. The reason I did this was for safety aspect. Right, sorry. So yeah. Okay, and now first it's call Meeown.ai. Second, is this safe? And also, will it act the same way our flows work? Are we doing too much? Does the existing edge functions or any existing functions get changed as the website is live? So we must make sure it all remains and works fine. Zero changes to the edge function. You see, sometimes you just have to actually ask the question. I know it sounds stupid, but it will always give you an answer so it can reassure your mind. Sometimes overthinking stuff is not good. So just ask the simple question, like, is this safe? Yep, so it calls it the exact same way, identically. All new code lives in the new file. Yep, and new migration. 3 new tables, no changes to the existing ones. No privileged tool handlers, don't use service role. They mint a short-lived Supabase. Okay, browser hit, same RS. Scope to 1 user. Worst case, if a token is leaked, same blast radius, leaked Supabase session, credits get spent, fine. Will it add the same existing? Yes, the whole point, the MCP is a thin adapter. Claude, generate, fine. Credits deduct in the same place. Webhooks update the same DB rows. Real time still fires for the website. Status comes from reading this. Are we doing too much? The 9 tool service is the right MVP, but 2 things in the plan could be trimmed for safety. Drop studio tools from V1, ship 5 core tools. Tools chain multiple edge functions and are higher risk to debug. Add them in V2 once it's proven. Drop down client registration. Initially, DCI is nice to have, not required. The only way this plan touches production behaviors. And okay, fine. And is there anything I have to do on Claude side or Codex? Right, so we're going to approve the plan. Now, I don't believe in one-shotting, that does not work, but this video could be 5 hours, it could be 2 days, it could be 1 hour. I don't actually know right now, so let's go ahead with it. All right, let's go ahead. Actually, there is one thing. Just before we do go ahead, please check you're connected to Supabase and pull in all the tables so you know what you're working with, and make sure we do not delete anything as we have a live database. Always remind your agent, do not delete anything, analyze everything first and then go ahead. Okay, so this is why, as I said before, when you're working with the database, always say it's a live database, there's users, that's if you have users. If you don't, then it does not matter at all. So it's actually asking me, should I do this? Do you want to do it, or should we do it manually? Do you want to skip it? But I'm going to give it full access. No, oh, gee. Very annoying. Return. Oh, I think I stopped it. You can definitely apply it. Try it again. There we go. Migration. Oh, let me just check. MCP. Yep. Perfect. Let's just let it run. I mean, a lot has changed because when I used to use Claude 3.5, we had to usually, I know it sounds bad, but we actually had to manually check each stage, and I'm literally just sitting here waiting. When it was 3.5, we'd have to go through each stage, each step, review it. There'll be a problem, review it again. There'll be another problem, then go into another bug, then fix it, then another bug. It was crazy. I might actually pull up all my old projects so we can see from last year what they actually looked like and how vibe coding was compared to now. And one thing was, when I was building, I always made sure the README was always updated, and that's why I ended up with something like this. So along the way, we would always know where we was at, what was going on, the file structure, because the context base wasn't good. So the AI would forget all of these files, because, for example, if you take a look, look, there's just so many components, so many files, so many different things to think about. The admin, the back end, the auth, the apps, the APIs, the design, there was just so much to think about. And so I always made sure my README was up to date and filled along the way, so we would never forget anything. But now the context windows have improved a lot. I sometimes think like, wow, it knows everything. I mean, and if this works in one shot, then I don't know what to say. So remember, when you're building, build for agents. Do not build for humans. That is a thing of the past. Humans do not use the computer anymore. Well, sorry, they do, but they won't. So every app, every software, build for AI agents to make their life easier. One agent needs to connect to something which Claude cannot do, or Codex, and it needs to feed back to the agent, and the agent will feed back to the human with the end result. That is how the future looks like, whether you like it or not. Let's make some money. It says we're ready. Let's see. Now, obviously, this will be accessible to everyone. So what I'm mainly going to be using it for is TikTok UGC content, or UGC content or just generating some really cool campaigns or the lip sync model. We will see. Right, so slightly confused by this part already. Please check. And what am I deploying? And plus, should I do it from Claude desktop app? Okay, don't. Oh, but by putting the Supabase JWT, what will that? I'm confused. Does the JW secret have to go in Supabase? Okay, so let's see. Actually should have it there. Okay, so put my JW in question. Also, do we have to go live to test it, or we test from here? Got it. Okay, well, I'm assuming if you can connect, we don't need Claude. You can do the testing from here. Yeah, okay, so let's do the testing from here. Now we need to go to well, if it's rendered, it will ruin video. How? So what possible way is there? And also, what tools did we set up? Is CDance 2.0 available? Okay, before we test, I want to ask, is there meant to be like a skill set for, or not really? One thing I like doing is I actually back my folder up to a hard drive. Now, I find this much more easier and convenient than GitHub, because when you return to if something goes wrong, you can return to everything exactly how it was. And if you use GitHub, you can return, but I don't know, sometimes it's a bit difficult. So I've always just done it manually, just for safety. Does that skills download with it, or how does that work? And what would you bake in the instructions? This is where it gets difficult, because a user might see dance, etc. And how would it work if we left it? What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? Amazing. I'm just going to screenshot that. Right. So now, shall I Versal and then on Claude desktop? How does the user log in? And also, what do you mean? Okay, so this is how you set it up. So let's give it a go. Chat, settings, connectors, add custom connector, Meeown, set up the custom Meeown connector. Please check connect, authorize, open Claude, connections live. Sick. Okay, use Nano Banana to generate me an image of a dog. Always allow. Also check the credit now. Always allow. Okay, so we have an issue. Meeown my credits. Wow. There we go. Generate me an image of a dog using Nano Banana 2. Let's see. Okay, issue here. Obviously it generated the image. Perfect. But good, because right, that's working perfectly, but the image came out like this, which is a bit annoying. Is this normal? Is this Higgsfield? Would be. You have to click a link. Right, so I'm going to call that a day, and that is how you create your web app or SaaS or app into an MCP, so agents can use your service, and that is the way forward. Remember, join my school if you want to learn more. If there's anything I can help you with, just let me know in the comments, and I'm here to help. Thank you. Bye.